29th of April 2013, and the reason why we are here, which is outside the office of the Financial Markets Authority, the FMA, is because we are going to present the CEO, Hughes, with a formal complaint against New Zealand Prime Minister John Key, Minister of Finance Bill English, Minister of Economic Development Stephen Joyce, and Minister of State-Owned Enterprises Tony Ryle on the following grounds. 1. For alleged unlawful market manipulation of the Mighty River Power share offer as information insiders under the Securities Markets Act 1988. Section 8E. Information insider must not advise or encourage trading. An information insider A of a public issuer must not advise or encourage another person B to trade or hold securities of the public issuer. Advise or encourage B to advise or encourage another person C to trade or hold those securities. This is a criminal offence under Section 8F, criminal liability for insider conduct. A person who contravenes any of Sections 8C to 8E commits an offence for the maximum penalty of 5 years imprisonment and a $300,000 fine for an individual or a $1 million fine for a body corporate if the person has actual knowledge, A, that the information is material information, and B, that the information is not generally available to the market. The second basis for this complaint is for recent advertisements of the Mighty River Power share offer being misleading and deceptive information under the Securities Markets Act 1988 because they are not alerting potential investors to the increased risk that prompted the supplementary disclosure statement being issued on the 22nd of April 2013 arising from the Labour Green New Zealand Power proposal. And Jack's here's got an example of this advertisement. Was in the Herald on Sunday, yesterday the 28th of April. And if you see this here, there is nothing that alerts potential investors to the fact that, oh my God, the sky's going to fall in with Labour Green's
North Korean economic
power
policy
proposal, you know, this economic sabotage, it's North Korea, it's whatever. Well, they can't have it both ways. You can't on the one hand say the sky's going to fall in, and next minute keep rolling out the same old ads on an unchanged basis.
and it's been on television continuously, incessantly, just about every ad break last night on TV3 in prime spots. So we are actually paying for this. We are paying for this as taxpayers. We are paying for this as people who already own Mighty River Power, because as part of the state, as citizens and residents of the state, we already own this asset. So we already do share in it, and this is deceptive and misleading advertising as well. So even the TV channels and the media should be very careful.
Okay, this full page ad, this was from yesterday's Sunday Star Times, the 28th of April. Same thing, full page ads. Again, where would these potential mum and dad investors who are probably very new to investing on the share market, where is the information about this increased risk from this Labour Green New Zealand Power proposal that prompted the supplementary disclosure statement because of the increased risk? This is evidence. These advertisements are evidence of this misleading and deceptive information. There's more. Now, under the Finance Markets Act 1988, there is a section called Market Manipulation. 11. False or misleading statement or information. A person must not make a statement or disseminate information if a material aspect of the statement or information is false, or the statement or information is materially misleading, and B, the person knows or ought reasonably to know that a material aspect of the statement or information is false, or that the statement or information is materially misleading, and C, that the statement or information is likely to induce a person to trade in the securities of a public issuer, or have the effect of increasing, reducing, maintaining, or stabilising the price for trading in those securities, or induce a person to vote for or vote against a transaction, or to abstain from voting in respect of that transaction. This is a criminal offence. 11A of the Financial Markets Act 1988, criminal liability for false or misleading statement or information. A person who contravenes Section 11 commits an offence for the maximum penalty of 5 years imprisonment and a $300,000 fine for an individual, or a $1 million fine for a body corporate, if the person has actual knowledge that the statement or information is false in a material aspect or is materially misleading. But there's more. Section 13, misleading or deceptive conduct generally for dealings in listed and non-listed securities. 1. A person must not engage in conduct in relation to any dealings in securities that is misleading or deceptive or likely to mislead or deceive. 2. To make the position clear, this section applies more broadly than the rest of this part, and so applies to securities whether listed or non-listed. It's not listed yet. And to all dealings in securities, not only trading. Okay, we need the evidence bit now. Evidence that the Prime Minister John Key, Minister of Finance, Bill English, Minister of Economic Development, Stephen Joyce, and Minister of State-Owned Enterprises Tony Ryle are information insiders. I have an Official Information Act reply dated the 17th of March 2013 from Tony Ryle, where he states, quote, I can advise that Cabinet has delegated authority to a group of ministers to set the final price for shares in the Mighty River Power share offer. The group of ministers is the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, the Minister for Economic Development, and also Associate Minister of Finance Stephen Joyce, and the Minister of State-Owned Enterprises. So they're the ones that are responsible for setting the final price, which hasn't yet been decided, of Mighty River Power. In response to my question 2, please provide the information which confirms how a good price for Mighty River Power is or has been calculated. The answer from Tony Ryle, Minister of State-Owned Enterprises. Quote, I have decided to withhold all of the documents covered by your second question in full under one or more of the following sections of the Official Information Act 1982 as applicable. Section 92B2 to protect the commercial position of the person who supplied the information or who is the subject of the information. Section 92F4 to maintain the current constitutional conventions protecting the confidentiality of advice tendered by ministers and officials. Section 92I to allow the Crown to carry on commercial activities without disadvantage or prejudice, and Section 92J to enable the Crown to negotiate without disadvantage or prejudice. In making my decision, I have considered the public interest consideration in Section 9.1 of the Official Information Act. The big issue here, people, is who are John Key and these ministers working for? Are they working for investors or are they working for taxpayers? That's the rub. A lot of investors are thinking, oh, yippee, we're going to get really cheap shares, but heaps of taxpayers are not investors. They are struggling to pay their power bills. So in whose interest is ex-foreign exchange dealer, current Bank of America shareholder, Shonky John Key actually working? Alright, evidence of misleading and deceptive information, of alleged market manipulation by Prime Minister John Key, Minister of Finance Bill English, Minister of Economic Development Stephen Joyce, and Minister of State-Owned Enterprises Tony Ryle. The following articles and press releases. Back on the 22nd of April, there was an article where the Prime Minister had a press release over the issue of Mighty River Power and New Zealand Power. On the 23rd of April, Stephen Joyce, as the Minister for Economic Development, put out a press release stating the Labour Green Power Plan was economic sabotage. There is further evidence in the form of the supplementary disclosure on the Mighty River Power share offer arising from this Labour Green New Zealand Power proposal. We've got evidence of that. And the other evidence we've already showed you are the advertisements that are already appearing in major mainstream media papers, which keep rolling out the same old line, share in something you already own, and they're not letting potential investors know about the increased risks. So folks, that is the letter. That is what's going to the CEO of the Finance Markets Authority. Any of you here are welcome to sign it, but this is history-making stuff, because the issue for the Finance Markets Authority is, are they going to apply one rule for all to the highest-ranking politicians in the land? Yes or no? And if not, why not? What people need to know is that if any investor out there has already put money into Mighty River Power, you have until the 1st of May to withdraw your money. Don't be a dumb or mad investor. Get your money out now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Penny Bryant.
All right, who wants to sign the letter?